Hi class, this is part 3 of your vocabulary videos. The next word we're going to discuss is capitalism, which is an economic and political system in which a country's trade and industry are controlled by private owners for profit rather than by the state. And this is really important because there's going to be different alternatives that come up. The state part. So, an example of capitalism can be the early industrial period, where you had people who were making a lot of profit from creating different goods and different inventions and really controlling a lot of what happened afterwards, like regulating steel, regulating oil prices, things of that sort, until the government started regulating those things. So I'm going to look up the word money. Oh, not money heist. That's the opposite of capitalism. And I'm going to add money into my Freyer chart as the image because that's something you get under capitalism. Well, some of us. And a non-example is socialism. Socialism is actually our next word. Socialism is a political and economic theory which advocates that the means of production and distribution are exchanged and should be owned and regulated by the state. So here the government has a lot more of the power of what profit, like who can profit out of the production of things. And a really important word is distribution, because instead of money being given to private owners, like under capitalism, so I'm going to actually go back and highlight that, it's given to the state or distributed amongst other people. Examples of where this occurs can be a lot of European countries like Norway, also the Netherlands is one. Other countries could be Cuba, Soviet Union. Non-examples of this is capitalism. They're sort of the opposite of each other. And an image of socialism there are plenty. I'm going to go ahead and put this one. Because in here, the workers have the power. The workers are the ones gaining the most profit because it's distributed to them. Our next word is division of labor. And this is the assignment of different parts of the manufacturing process or tasks to different people in order to improve efficiency. So think of this as, for example, the division of labor that happens in your groups. For example, there's a facilitator, there's a representative, and there is a scribe. And the reason you guys divide this labor is so that you can work faster and more efficiently together. The same thing was done under the Industrial Revolution. People divided labor. Okay, you're going to pick the cotton. I'm going to weave the cotton, so that the production of goods would be faster. A non-example of this is working by yourself. And I'm going to add an image that represents division of labor. And this is actually a really great image, the one I just chose, where people are dividing up to be able to work more efficiently. The next word we have is strike, and that's the refusal to work or organized by a body of employees as a form of protest. And it's typically used to attempt to gain concession or concessions from the employer, which means that usually when people go on strikes, it's because they want to gain something like a raise, for example. Um, a really great example of a strike that we learn about in our classes is the bus boycott, the Montgomery bus boycott that MLK did. And they boycotted buses to be able to get more rights, right? It was a negotiation. We also have non-examples, and non-examples of this, it could be going to work, and an image of a strike could be really anything on this screen. And our very last word is black lungs. And this might be really uh like associated with smoking now. But in the context of the Industrial Revolution, it was the name given to the disease that people would develop as a result of inhaling too much coal. And this usually developed into inflammation and then later death. And it was mostly suffered by little kids who worked in coal mines. So I'm just gonna add this here. And again, people are gonna try to associate this with smoking, but that wasn't a thing or a viral thing back in the Industrial Revolution. This is referring to coal. So coal inhalation, coal dust inhalation. And a non-example of this are happy lungs. Happy and healthy. All right. So we have finished our vocabulary. What you guys have to do now is practice your vocabulary using Quizlet. And once you are done, you upload an image here. And the instructions on how to do that are actually here on the second slide. The link is also here. It's pretty simple. I wish you guys luck and see you guys tomorrow.